Oh my gosh, Jared, I have so much news.
Please.
I went on a date for the first time on the road when I was in Washington, D.C. last weekend, and I felt like a real male comedian.
Dates on the road are very weird. I've done it, and the weird part is you do have a moment, and I'm actually, you gendered this, not me.
I did it.
I appreciate that because I'm as a guy, I sit there midway through going, what am I doing here? I have a moment where I'm like, does this person think I'm gonna move here? Am I gonna move them out? Do we think are we hooking up? What is this production? Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. Welcome to Guest Wednesday. Every Wednesday we're gonna have a guest talk about whatever we're going to talk about. It's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube here with a very funny comedian, Blair Socci. Thank you for coming on. How are you? Good to see you.
Jared, it's incredible to see you, as always, and great to just be back on the podcast. I don't know if this is a second Pete, a three-peat, a four-peat, maybe one of those.
Whatever it is, a pleasure. Welcome to the new JTrain Podcast. You're on the West Coast for people at home. A thrill. How are you? Let's start there. This is a chit chat. I'm splitting the podcast. You're the first week of our we're doing a new version of this podcast. I'm always tinkering. I'm always under the hood. I'm always trying to figure shit out. So
that's something I've always loved about you. It's just you are a tinker master, always tinkering.
Jared the Tinker Master Freid. Not creepy when I go up to women at bars. And say,
look, pal,
hey,
if you're not growing, you're dying.
That's
Yeah, no, I'm good. What have I been up to? I've just been traveling around. I've been going on dates.
Last date, okay, good. You bring us to the first question I wrote down. You have a special out. Everyone should go watch the special. It's
watch my special, babe.
It's called Live from Big Dog.
Live from the Big Dog. Me. I'm the
what's
big
the
dog.
Big Dog?
Me.
You're the big dog? I'm the big dog. Now we have a problem.
Oh, no, Jared. I'm the big dog.
I'm the big dog. What if we did this for a half hour? Just you and me going back. No, I'm the big dog. Just two people barking at each other. What'd you do? I did my job. I did a podcast where I barked at a woman.
Look, I love it. It's spicy. Spicing it up. Spicing up the space.
Live from the Big Dog. It's on Veep.
Yeah, but it's coming out on 800-pound gorilla YouTube. I'm releasing it on YouTube on August 15th. I don't know when this is coming out.
This literally comes out on August 15th. Look it up.
Fuck yeah, it's coming out today.
Today. So on YouTube, you can watch Live from the Big Dog. I am talking to the Big Dog, Blair Socci. Go follow the Big Dog at Blair Socci, AKA Big Dog. D-O-G. I'm the big dog. D-A-W-G.
Yeah, I suck. Look, this was a nickname lovingly bestowed upon me by my community, so it wasn't a self-appointed nickname. Just sort of my friends in this world.
Good improv. That was, we really nailed it there. My friends in this world.
Comedians.
I've never seen someone give up on a scene. Don't you hang out with improv people? You gave up on the scene.
I don't fucking hang out with improv people. I'm cool. I'm a jock.
That's right.
I was pretty in high school.
Last date you went on. How'd you meet them?
Oh my gosh, Jared, I have so much news.
Please.
I went on a date for the first time on the road when I was in Washington, D.C. last weekend, and I felt like a real male comedian.
Dates on the road are very weird. I've done it, and the weird part is you do have a moment, and I'm actually... you gendered this, not me.
I did it.
I appreciate that because I'm as a guy, I sit there midway through going, what am I doing here? I have a moment where I'm like, does this person think I'm gonna like move here? Am I gonna move them out? Do we think are we hooking up? What is this production? What was your thought going on a date on the road?
The end goal. Well, so for me, I'm an international, notoriously known recluse, sort of not really interested in putting myself out there in any way. Right. And recently it's come to my attention
you're the big dog.
That I have to participate in the Finding My Soulmate, which was devastating news.
Right. Tough.
So what I did, because I don't follow anyone on Instagram, which makes people really react to that. They really get upset about that.
People don't like that you don't follow anyone.
Yeah. Like, they get really, like, triggered by that. They're like, oh, you think you're cool? And I'm like, no, I literally just don't want to be on my phone, and I don't want to be, like, consuming information all day long. I have shit to do.
Listen, that does sound like you think you're above other people, too.
Not at all, not at all.
The explanation I get. I agree with the explanation, but that didn't help your cause, because it's like, I don't want to be consuming all this information like you losers.
No, not at all. Not at all. I want you to live your life as you should see fit. I'm just saying I don't understand the backlash for me not wanting to participate.
Well, I think, as you said, you were good looking in high school. You probably deal with backlash that many would not understand, even yourself. I'm sure that goes into it. Who's this blonde chick who doesn't think she has to follow anyone, live by the rules of society? Oh, she's just living on a yacht.
No, I wish I was living on the yacht. Okay, but here's what I did, Jared. Okay. Jared, here's what I did. Because when men, so like my point was that male comics, anytime a hot girl follows them, they just follow them back immediately. Follow. You know?
Well, I don't do that. I'm a little more subtle than that. But
you are?
Well, I'll look at if I get followed by a woman who messages me, I'm gonna go to their profile. The first move is let's see what we got. Let's see what the net took in as I dredge the seas. You know, so I do look, but if it's private, the step towards following a private account, that is not a step I would take often.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it would.
You're less horny than all the other male comics.
No, I would say that it would take on the. I'd have to be like, I'm on the road, I'm lonely. Let me check that. I really want to check this out.
Right.
Or, but I do have a moment. Again, this is the voice in my head that's going on the date when I'm on the road of like, what are you doing? Like, so it's like if I get a message like, hey, big guy, which I've never gotten before, but I get hey, and then it's a private account. I go, Jared, what are you gonna do? You gonna follow them and then never reach out to this person? Just delete it. Just delete and goodbye. And I
think a lot of guys do that. A lot of my guy friends are like, oh yeah. But what I was thinking was that like anytime these guys message me, I click on their profile, they're all private and I can't see anything about them. Right. So I made an email. Someone gave me this idea as a date Blair Socci at gmail.com.
Okay, and so promote that. We got to promote the special and date Blair Socci at gmail.com.
Well, then I said, send me a picture so then I could like see and send me some information about yourself.
Right. The safety element of it is way more important for you. A woman on the road. Let me be a hero for 2 seconds, okay?
Sure, please.
Let me be heroic. I can't. The danger of being a female comedian on the road is actually a little crazy. Like because it's a lot of men at comedy shows. You're in parts of cities and taking Ubers and late at night and again you're talking about you're opening up on stage, which is she's opening up. She's talking directly to me. There's crazies, you know. So the idea that like it would take a strong woman to take me on,
Sure.
So both mentally and physically. So I can understand the email. Like let's have people jump through some hoops that I can see how they jump, how high.
Yeah, you know what? It was actually very illuminating in many ways. Like some men wrote some really nice, like thoughtful, well thought. One guy made a PowerPoint. One guy made a YouTube, and I was like,
I love this.
I was like, I've been dating the wrong people.
Well, you've been asking for the wrong thing. This is you going, hey. Well, also there's it's the power dynamic of you are a comedian that they have sought out. They're attracted to you, and they like the persona, the act that's out there. I would hope for me. I'm sure you would hope too that they like your comedy. They like you, and then they go, okay, I've passed test 1, which is getting the email. So now test 2, write the email. So I don't think everyone could do this, but I think if you're public, this is like a good way to go.
Yeah, no, it's been, and it's actually also made me like my idea of men. Like I'm like, oh, like there's some nice men out there. Like
the capacity for good exists.
Yes, because it's like right there in front of me. But anyways, I went on this date. And I was really nervous because it was like the first time and he was younger than me, which I never date a younger man.
You skipped a whole part. Hold on. Let's go back.
Okay.
Please, Blair. And everyone should go watch the special live from the Big Dog. It is out on YouTube. You can just click on over. We're going to have it in the bio of this episode. So you said you were in Washington State?
Washington, D.C.
Okay. First of all, you chose a great place to do this. Washington State is the most horrific people. Like, that is like, gremlins and hobbits of both extremes. Like, that is kind of the scariest version of dude at comedy show. DC, I actually think that is like the most fragile of men. That is the least, manly of man. It's I eat lunch out of a bowl. I wear a techno vest.
Yes!
Like, of the men, of the areas of the country where I'd be like, I want my daughter to take emails from, I think DC is the safest of all the areas, to tell you the truth. Boston, you get this Boston Southie asshole. I think DC's also a transplant town, so it's people who are upwardly mobile. They have goals and they want to achieve. So I kind of like where you did it. Florida, I mean, don't do this in Florida. Don't do this in Florida, Blair.
No, this guy was a golfer. I knew, like, should I need to, my fast twitch muscles could probably help me escape the situation. I still have a little bit of explosiveness left in the tank,
Listen, this is good. This is good assessment of yourself. This is a good look in the mirror you're doing. Now, okay, so this guy messages you DM in DC. You're there doing shows.
Yeah.
And you say, "Hey, you want to grapple with the big dog? You better bark." And you send this email address.
No, he emailed it without me knowing who he was.
How did he find the email?
Beforehand. Because it was on my Instagram story.
So on your Instagram story, you literally said, "If you want to date me, please email this address." So he took the bait. What was his email?
He made, like, complimenting me, made a few jokes, like, saying, even though, you sound like RFK Jr., ha, 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 ha.
He negged you?
Well,
it was good,
yes.
Though? You felt it was done in kind?
Yes, it didn't have, like, a rude tinge, but I have posted about that because that's what a lot of people write on my videos.
About your voice.
They write, I thought, this sounds like RFK transitioned.
I didn't even have the RFK reference. Every time he speaks, I kind of turn it off. I'm like, I can't deal with this voice, to tell you the truth.
It sounds, and I'm like, this man has a disease.
That's not you.
Thank you. No, but he was handsome.
He sent, how many pictures did he send?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah, well, I didn't specify a number. One was just like him walking. One was like of him golfing or something, And
what was how did he end it? I'd like to take you out while you're in town?
Yes, when you get here. Like, if you're open to it.
Where did he... So you write back, you've won the prize, me. You write back, and you're like, name a place and where, and here's my number? Is that how it goes right away?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't give my number. He, like, offered to take me to a really nice, like, dinner, and I was like, that's, no, just drinks is good. Like, that's too much pressure.
Before or after the show?
after the show that on a Thursday when I only had one show. There's no way I'm going on a date after 2 shows.
Listen, I hear you. So you get done. So you get there Thursday. First show, one show Thursday. Then where do you get drinks? Is it a wine bar? Is it a bar?
A speakeasy, like a cute, like cool cocktail bar.
So he made an effort.
Oh yeah, he definitely, and he like showed me an array of options. Like was like, what do you like? What do you know? All this stuff. Like put in a lot of like effort.
And how'd it go?
It went well, except for he did neg me a few times, and he did say his favorite comedian was some. You know, has this ever happened to you where someone you're like, and they name their favorite comedian, you're like, oh,
you're horrified right away.
There was extreme horror and made me worry about their views and everything.
The worst part of hearing someone's favorite comedian is you can't hide the review you want to give. Like and usually if their favorite comedian is successful, you just sound like a hater. You sound like you're jealous.
Yeah.
So like there's no like fair review.
Sure. And also like, you know, my comedy is fairly kooky. Eccentric, probably. Like, and I'm thinking it's real different than this guy's comedy, you know?
Hold on. I lost you for a second.
Oh, okay.
Now you're back. Okay,
go
ahead.
There you are. Yeah.
So, what were you saying?
Oh, you know what? Like, I was thinking in relation to this man's comedy who's like a real edgelord type of guy. And I'm thinking my comedy's real like silly and kooky, you know?
Right. It's hard not to compare, and it's hard not to look like a hater because whoever they're saying is successful. Like it's usually not a deep cut. It's usually way more mainstream. And like you have to catch yourself because you're like, maybe I'm looking badly right now. Did you have that?
Yeah, I didn't hate. I more took it as information about this man.
Just kept it in. Didn't see. That's where I think to me that's like a very woman's reaction where you were like calm. It didn't take to your ego too much. Like me, I'm like, well, you got to know one thing about that person. You know, like I would rail on.
No, I don't even see it that way at all. No, I'm just like, oh, you like that? I don't know about you, you know?
Okay, so what's your goal with the date? Did you...
Well, actually, it's odd because we started talking and like the text, he's like, I want to fly out and see you. And I'm thinking he's already younger than me, which is like a no for me.
How old is he and how old are you? You're 30 what?
I'm not speaking about that. That's really private. But he's younger than me, which I never dated a younger guy. You know?
I mean, he wanted to come at the big dog. This is... So how does it end? You guys shake hands and go your separate ways? Do you keep in touch?
No, yeah, like we've kept in touch.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But it's quite, to your point, it's quite unrealistic, impractical. But really, I'm just trying to work on opening up and going on dates because I have not really done that. So
this was really more for yourself to get back out there. And to
yeah.
Like basically, you know, get some muscle memory from this. Like go on a date, have someone buy you a drink, have a conversation, hear that their favorite comic is living in Austin and doesn't care about women. You know, like you know, and then how do you receive that? How do you look? You know, whatever. So...
No, but it was fun, and it made me laugh. Like of all my years on the road, that was the first time I'd ever, like, even had a drink with a man. Considering like all the stories I hear,
well,
you know?
This is also like, you know, the female comedian plight. Like they see the male comedians have this like very different, you know. Well, again, it's why a lot of male comedians don't do well. They are doing it to meet women instead of like actually do their job. Yeah, and I wasn't talking about anyone in Austin specifically. I just realized I got very specific. But I'm saying the brand of comic in Austin is the type that I would think of as like, oh my God, this guy, you know, this edgelord that I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I had a fun time. We'll see what happens. I'm just trying to like work on going on dates.
What's the last date you went on?
The date before that, I met this.
So that's the last date you went on?
Oh yeah, that was last week.
Oh, it was last week. Okay.
Yeah.
How about people closer to home? You live in California?
Yeah, I went on a date before that with this really nice guy, also younger. I don't know what's going on.
Well, how'd you meet him?
I met him on Hinge.
Okay. What did he respond to on your profile that made you go out with him? I think these are interesting things to latch on to.
I have this thing on my profile where I said, like, at the end of, like, what I'm looking for, like, also it'd be great if he likes to go home or likes to leave parties early. And
Great.
so, like, yeah, and my therapist made me show her my entire Hinge profile, which was horrifying. But then she made me write, like, full, like, what I'm looking for. So it's, like, my profile is so sincere. It's humiliating. Like, I just think of other comedians seeing, it's just, like, looking for my life partner, like, you know, all this, like,
I'm not going to go against your therapist. I am on Hinge and see profiles like that, and you're like, is this person fun at all? Like, that's, like, my one thing. You're like, I'm like, can we start at, like, a fun fact? You know, like that we can be light. They're like, I
have a few little
zingers on there. Before we move forward, all the episodes this week are sponsored by Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating clean. They send pre-measured and prepped ingredients right to your door, along with easy-to-follow recipes. Here's all I have to say. This is a meal kit company. It's called Green Chef. They are doing a very special offer. Each week, Green Chef has over 80 rotating meal options. You can get plant-based, gluten-free, keto, counting calories. There's something for everyone. They even offer access to thousands of top-rated gyms and fitness studios worldwide with ClassPass. So this deal is going to get you some money off of Green Chef plus 50 free ClassPass credits, which is like pretty unheard of. I think this is like a great deal, but otherwise, why would someone do Green Chef? The meal kits, to me, you're getting money, first of all, and then the meal kits, it is a mental health thing. You can, when you begin the meal kit, do the meal kit, finish it, look at it against the picture, there's very few things where we get a beginning, middle, and end. Everything's open-ended these days. This is something that you can accomplish the task. Feels good. Put in those headphones, listen to this podcast, and make your Green Chef recipe. Limited time, new Green Chef subscribers will also receive 50 credits to use at ClassPass, which I'm telling you, ClassPass, like, what an option. You can go to, like, you can keep switching it up, just like you switch up your meals. That's variety's the spice of life. That's about a month's worth of memberships. Go to greenchef.com/JTrainClass for 50% off your first box, plus 50 free credits with ClassPass. That's code JTrainClass at greenchef.com/JTrainClass to get 50% off your first box and 50 free ClassPass credits. Okay, Blair. Mm-hmm. So the date, the profile that you have is super sappy and serious.
I think it would be, I like to think it's more sweet, but you know, okay. I have had a lot of guys tell me that they were struck by the effort put in it, and I'm thinking they would never have been like that. You should have seen it before. So
this is a true, like, work on yourself moment. You really want to meet someone and you want to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I actually have not really, like, dated since I've been in comedy. Like, I had a few, like, long comedian boyfriends, but I was, like, never really dating. I was just, like, focused on comedy.
Just
I don't know. I
think
I was just kind of, like, avoiding it, and I was, like, I've been so busy, and, like, I'm just, like, you know, it's the thing that's, like, I don't really feel like going to meet a stranger on a night off when I'm exhausted.
Right. It is physically taxing, you know, comedy. Like, it's just like, when you do get that night in, you're like, do I really want to, like, get dressed up the way I would get dressed up to go do comedy? Like, get the energy push to go on a date is very similar to, like, the push to go out and do a show.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I like to feel like a woman when I go on a date. So I, like, put on a whole outfit, like, do my hair, my makeup. Like when I go do comedy,
you say that like there's other women like I don't get ready at all.
No, because when I go do comedy, like I dress like a 14-year-old skateboarder. You know what I mean?
I just saw an article about women in comedy. They got written up for their fashion choices.
Is that true?
I always, there was a whole article about it. They didn't call me.
How peculiar.
Sorry to bring. Well,
wow, what an oversight by them.
Sorry to be live Instagram for you. And
there's so much I don't know about because of Instagram.
No, I saw this article. I always thought it was tough for women to dress on stage.
Well, especially when I started coming from like a family of all men, like I really wanted to be covered up because I was so like, I don't know. I was just like, oh, they're not going to like listen to a woman or this stuff shows you where my mind was.
Well, it shows you kind of the head trash that, we all have our own head trash. And it's like, I feel lucky for the things I don't have to think about. There's an element of like, I hear that and I go, man, one thing I wasn't really going through, which makes it easier for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I have, like, an alt show or something and I'm going on a date after, like, I'll wear a skirt. I don't give a shit, but I'm not, like, gonna ever wear that in a club. You know what I mean? For me, personally. I love when other women do it or whatever they want to do.
Right, but even that statement right there shows how difficult this whole thing is. You say I dress down, and then what are you saying about people who dress up? Like, it gets into this, like this, like, it's hard. It's difficult. So you go on the date with the guy from Hinge.
Yeah.
Where does he take? Where does he take you in LA? What's the LA spot?
Well, he actually asked me to go to dinner, and then again I was like, oh, let's just get a drink first.
Why do you think you're getting offered these dinner dates right up? I would never go dinner first. I'm just saying.
I think probably because my profile is so down to earth.
Well, so serious. They're like the Queen's English she's using. I better be proper.
No, but one time I went on a Hinge date, and it was like I had just gotten back from the road, and I had one night free that week, and it was supposed to be drinks, and this guy kept ordering food. It ended up being 3 hours, and I was just looking at the waiter after like 90 minutes. It didn't care if it was Brad Pitt. I would have wanted to leave after 90 minutes because I was just like, you look at the
waiter, you're like, save
SOS,
me.
Bitch.
Right.
Come over. Yeah. And so then after that, like, I'm just like, no, I can't do I don't want to do a blind dinner date. Like, that's just too much pressure. I think a drink is like a really nice, casual, like,
drinks
thing.
have endings.
Yes.
Drinks have endings that are built in, like,
right.
And, my thing, when I first started talking about dating stuff, I always thought like a bottle of wine was like a good way to go, just because the wine, when the bottle's over, we have an excuse to say goodbye if you're kind of like worried about that. Right. What do your parents think? When you talk about your parents, I always think that they're like West Coast versions of my parents. They always sound very West Coast boomer.
I'm super close with my parents. I love my parents. Like, I love to spend time with my parents when I have free time. I think they really, it was very hard for them when I chose to do comedy. They have not been thrilled.
I was going to ask, are they thrilled now? Are they happier with the decision now?
I mean, I don't think they're thrilled. I think they are like, oh, she's really doing it at this point. Like we have there's not even something we can say. They still wish I was married next door to them. That's really like they're like, it's not about what you do, it's just like you're gone all the time. We wish we lived in the same town and like we saw each other, I
mean, do they come to shows?
No. They saw me for the first time at my special.
That was the first time?
Yeah.
What did your dad say afterwards?
My dad cried. He was so proud.
Really?
Yeah, which was really like after
I love hearing that.
After what it has, like, the journey to that moment, I was surprised they even really came, honestly. And, like, it is weird, like, I mean, I don't really have very many sex jokes. I only have, like, a few, but even saying the few in front of my dad and my brothers and my mom was truly horrifying, and that's why I'm glad it was like at the special taping, because I wasn't even like thinking about them at all, and so they got to see like whatever. But yeah, it was quite interesting.
What, like, did your dad say, like, because he gives you shit about comedy, like, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he'll be like, it's not too late to do real estate, you know?
It's like, yes, it is.
I'm like, I'm 11 years in now.
Right.
I've been on television many times.
Right. This is like a real career. I have a business manager, you know, like.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They fuck around a lot. They like to just make fun of me and stuff.
Here, get your dad some MeUndies. They sponsor this episode. And
okay, I will.
Do you ever notice the underwear of a man?
Yes, I do.
I think this is my pitch for MeUndies is women notice you have a pair of underwear that's kind of crummy and you're avoiding. That's always my pitch is like everyone has end of the rotation underwear and socks. I'm giving you an opportunity to use this promo code and get money off of a end of the rotation underwear that's brand new that you're not going to avoid anymore. That's my whole pitch. And would you be, if a guy had patterns or fun cartoons on his underwear, would you be for it or against it? And there's no pressure on the answer. They have all types.
I mean, you know, at my advanced age, as long as they're not tattered with holes in them or whatever.
That's a big deal.
I don't know about cartoons. Maybe if there's one or two fun cartoon pair that are like a silly personality, miscongeniality pair. But as long as they don't just look disgusting.
The underwear has to match the personality, I think. If you were with a cartoonish man, then the cartoon underwear would like be the icing on the cake. If it was, if you're with your, you know, vest bro in DC that you went out with, and it's a more formal attire. Summer's here. Doesn't. Be prepared with MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/feather. For 20% off. That's MeUndies.com/feather plus free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. What's your favorite joke? You don't tell the joke. I'm not asking for that. But the joke you like the most from the special. What's it about?
Probably my OnlyFans bit. It's almost 10 minutes long.
10 minutes OnlyFans. Is it in defense of it? Is it what's the premise?
It's a story about how I had a tweet go viral. That was just like, I was just kidding around. And I said, like, on OnlyFans, can you just do feet or do you have to show hole? And then it just like went viral. And then I didn't know there was like actually like that was a real thing, the feet thing. And so then I immediately made an OnlyFans for my feet called Blair Socci Ankles Down No Hole. And I got a bunch of subscribers, but then my reps immediately made me take it down because I auditioned for Disney all the time.
How much money were you in talks to make from this? How many subscribers did you get to then they were like, you got to get rid of this?
I mean, I only had it for 24 hours, like, and I had like, my subscription fee was like $20, and I probably had like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 or something. That's pretty
good in one day's work. Also, did you go to your dad and be like, I am not going into real estate, but I have this OnlyFans? Is that part of it?
Oh, no, I didn't tell my parents only heard that for the first time at the special. And I was like, oh, my God, I don't even know if they know what OnlyFans is. And I was really scared about that part.
Really?
And I kept screaming, like, ankles down, no hole, you know? And so...
Well, I just would love to, if your dad's like, no, you should go into real estate, be like, well, I found another career. Like, just to see how horrified he'd be.
I thought it was, like, so innocent and innocuous, the feet, and it was so fun. Like, I've never felt joy like that, like I did those 24 hours.
Here's the thing. Feet. I'm not a feet guy. I know the feet people are out there. When it's not sexual to you, then you're like, who cares? Right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not showing any sexual parts of your, you know.
Right, you don't see it that way, but someone
face
sees it that way so much, you know, like that they go crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's just like an elbow or something, you know?
I agree with that. What's the joke that you wished you had worked on more?
Gosh, I don't think I have one because I worked on it to death. Like, I don't feel like there was any fat.
No meat on the bone. There wasn't one that you're like, if I had another week with it, I'd feel better. I have those for my special where I'm like, there's a couple that I'm like, damn it, I would have gone in maybe a different direction. You know, like if I had just kept saying it. Yeah. But maybe not, you know?
I mean, my special's 43 minutes, and I forgot 6 minutes during... Like, I forgot. I got off stage, and I saw on my phone the time, and I was like, oh.
What happened?
Oh, what did I forget? So, yeah, there's nothing, like, there is no extra fat.
One more question before we get there, and it's going to be a food-related question, because I know you are a foodie like me.
Yeah, I'm
and you have a lot of food opinions. I always enjoy your food opinions because they're not about the food itself. It's more, it really feels it's more a personality connected to the food, which I agree with. But on the subject of food, Hero Bread is sponsoring. Here's what I love about Hero Bread. They have Hawaiian rolls. They got cheddar biscuits, croissants, brioche rolls. And they're all lower calories than what you know. And
thank God.
Honestly, the world we live in, all you want is the bread crunch sometimes. All you want is like it to be close to bread, but have the bread experience. 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, lots of fiber. All their bread is just made to be, I would call it efficient. Like, I want efficient bread. Like, when I see the bread that's like the 70 calorie slices, I'm like, oh my God, I got to the place I needed to get to mentally from the 150 calorie slice of bread. Mm-hmm. And yes, I do agree it's a little crazy to be like, oh, it's 80 calories or whatever it is. Yes, I'm going to take the efficiency where I can so that I can mess up later, so I can have that extra glass of martini and not feel bad, so I can have that dessert. I'm going to cut where I can, and I think with Hero Bread, this gives you what you want. Keep the carbs out of summer, and you put it in the freezer, and then it's there for you. Keep the carbs out of summer without compromising flavor with Hero Bread. Get 10% off your order at hero.co. That's hero.co. Use code JTrain at checkout. That's JTrain at checkout, hero.co. Okay, Blair, here's my last question.
Okay.
And maybe this is your next OnlyFans account.
Okay.
What did you eat today?
What did I eat today? Oh, I had a chicken and rice bowl. And speaking of protein, I put like 3 scoops of Greek yogurt on for like another 15 grams. And then I put a half of avocado and hot sauce.
Hold on. This sounds like a crazy... This sounds like the trough that the pig eats out of. This is...
You just combined
right. So many.
You got that right, pal.
Big dog. I'm talking to the Oink Master.
Oink Master.
Hold on. Did you get it from a restaurant or did you make it yourself?
Look, this is humiliating for me to say on the air, on the airwaves.
Got your radio.
It's a Trader Joe's chicken bowl, frozen.
So you pick up the bowl. It comes as a bowl with all the ingredients.
Yeah, you just microwave it, and I like it because it's high protein and low calorie, so I'm getting what I need out of it.
Maybe you and the guy in D.C. have more in common than you thought. He does need to come to you. Bowl culture. D.C. loves a bowl.
I love a bowl.
So you added in. I love a bowl too. Not to besmirch bowl culture. I am part of that culture. So it comes with chicken, rice, veggies, and then you on your own added in Greek yogurt?
Yeah, because like those Chipotle sauces, and I'm a big sauce guy. Like, I like a sauce. Anytime I can have a sauce, I like a sauce. And those Chipotle cream sauces are basically like sour cream and hot sauce mix, with other like things. And so I make it, instead of sour cream, I make it with hot sauce and Greek yogurt.
So you take the Chipotle sauce, you mix it with the Greek yogurt and the hot sauce.
There is no Chipotle sauce. The hot sauce and the Greek yogurt makes the Chipotle sauce.
Oh, so you're making your own at-home version of the Chipotle sauce.
And adding like
a salsa verde type of thing.
Yeah, and like adding like 10, 15 grams of protein to it.
So this is a thought-out health thing in addition to delicious.
Yes.
This is all you've eaten today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also did have some dark chocolate covered power berries. Whoever knows what the fuck that is.
What's a power berry?
Who knows? Some goji, something like that from Trader Joe's, a mystery berry.
What will you eat the rest of the day? Have you thought about how did this fit into the rest of your day? It is 1 o'clock, 1:40 p.m. Pacific time. You have now had one meal. Will there be a rest of the day? Because I'm going to reveal mine as well. I'm not going to just.
I want to know what you had. Okay, well, what did you have?
I am at the Borgata in Atlantic City. I woke up this morning. I didn't
had a nice prime rib.
I had the prime rib for breakfast. Mint julep. I'll go from last night. So they gave me $150 credit that gets per day that doesn't bump over. So it doesn't like become $300. So last night I got here. I went to Old Homestead Steakhouse and they were charging. I sent a text to my family group chat and I go, they had jumbo shrimp and it said $10. And I was like, wow, that's a cheap jumbo shrimp. And I go, I'll have the jumbo shrimp. And they go, that's per shrimp. How many shrimp do you want?
Yeah.
And I go, wow. I was like, they're getting $10 a shrimp. So I tell my dad, I go, I got $150 credit. And I go, the shrimp are $10. He goes, that's 15 shrimp. I was like, thanks.
I love it.
Can you imagine if I was like, I got 15 shrimp?
What's your dad's name?
Jerry.
Wait, and
15
they live in
shrimp.
Florida?
Can you imagine? I go, I got $150. Put it all on shrimp. Like, what a weird way to think of it.
Wait, so did you get a steak or did you get the shrimp?
So I got 3 shrimp. I got the crab, the jumbo crab meat as a starter.
And a martini.
No martini. I didn't drink last night. I'm off the sauce for a second.
Oh, okay.
For reasons of I want to see if it changes my life. So then I got a Caesar salad, not great. The lump crab, good. The shrimp, okay. I like a smaller shrimp. I like my shrimp to be shrimpy.
I usually love a casino steakhouse. Like, it feels so luxurious.
So happy. I'm sitting at the bar. I got the football game on. My brother's a coach for the Bears. The Bears were on at the Hall of Fame game. So this is like all like, it's all hitting all my pleasure centers.
Sure.
So then I had the Caesar salad, not enough crouton, not enough dressing. Then I got the salmon with miso glaze.
Whoa.
And that was one of the most delicious salmons I've ever had. I got to say, it was
miso
a delicious
glaze
miso
salmon
glaze.
Is really good. Even
right.
Cheesecake Factory does a nice miso glaze salmon, and I know that from my college sports days.
You know, I actually had that thought last night. I go, wow, miso glaze not getting enough talk everywhere, and I'm happy that we can do that here on the JTrain Podcast. Then I woke up, had an egg white. Here's the problem with a show. Like, I'm happy to be here at the Borgata. Got a great show tonight. The people at the casino are generally disgusting.
Sure, swamp
so
people.
It's just and I mean this I hope this comes off not mean. I think they're disgusting animals, the people who come here. Because they are on one. Like, they're here to, like, gamble money, and there's, like, the fancy steakhouse, and you could just feel everyone's just a little bit too much when they walk into a casino. The air's pumping in. This morning, I went and got breakfast at, like, the cafe, like, where you can get breakfast. I got an egg white omelet, sliced tomatoes, extra crispy bacon. That's what I got. The guy next to me, he's going... He keeps, like, clearing his nose. He keeps, like, hawking crap in his mouth. It was like the most disgusting sound. And then he turns to me and he goes, staying lean, huh? And I'm like, can you just like not like look at me in my general direction? I got snortsy having a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Being sober in a casino is alarming. It really is.
I might break tonight, one night in.
Sure. I know what you mean because, I used to drink so much more when I lived in New York. Like, it just naturally happens in LA. Like, You just don't drink that much. But what I do is to go to bed right before I go to sleep, I do the gummies. And if I don't do it right before bed, I will, eat my entire kitchen. Like, I will eat things that I didn't even know you could eat, as a snack.
We are very similar. I'm at the point where if I don't eat before bed, I'm like the idea that I could do that forever. Like, it was so hard for me not to eat before bed that I feel like I escaped. And then I'm like, it's depressing to me because I'm like, I can't do this forever. I got through one night. How could I even expect? It was such a big deal to get through one night that I can't even believe. That's why I was asking you, what you'll eat the rest of the day. Right now, I'm egg white omelet and then I had a protein bar before we did here because I was a little in a mood. I needed to eat. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll go to a steakhouse again pre-show.
Yeah.
Because then I'll have, a nice meal. And then it's if I don't drink, that's good.
Right.
But this is all part of my decision-making process.
I know. I do that, too. And I find if I don't exercise in the morning, then I have to think about what I eat. I just naturally eat well when I exercise, without having to think about it so much to battle my demons. Last night, I ate an entire box of mochi.
You eat very high-end snacks.
It's from Trader Joe's.
What are you spending at Trader Joe's a week? You getting goji berries, mochi?
I don't
bowls,
know,
individual bowls. This is.
Yeah, I do eat sort of. Even though I like to cook and stuff, and I wish I cooked more, I get so lazy, and I'm trying to always watch what I eat and eat a lot of protein.
I'm the same way, but not at all. Okay, Blair. Everyone, the special's out on YouTube. It's called Live from the Big Dog. It is on. We're going to put the link in the bio. It's out today. Lucky us. Go watch it. Go check out the Onlyfans bit. That sounds awesome. Because I tried to find the special to go watch it before we started. And I'm
yeah.
This is tough to find.
Yeah, the Onlyfans bit is pinned to the top of my Instagram profile if you want a preview.
Go. Well, go. The special's out. Go watch it.
Go watch the special. That's what I meant to say. Totally. I'm good at this.
Thank you, Blair.
Thank you. I love you, Jared.